All right, party people. It's Tuesday. It's
It's
Tuesday, everybody.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. This is the Lords of the Long Box cover price top 10 list for the week ending. What was it? October 13th was Sunday. So
Yeah.
October 13th. If this is your first time here, everybody, give you a heads up. We are talking about the top 10 comic books that were sold last week in the aftermarket. All right.
Yes.
So these are all sales that were aggregated by our awesome friends at CovrPrice, pulling all that data, doing all the work, doing all the spreadsheet nonsense to let us all know what was the best selling books of last week. And this is sales in the aftermarket. So not like what was sold in your local comic book shops, things like that. This is all aftermarket sales. That's what drives these sales. That's what drives this show. Speaking of driving the show, there's no Laura today. Sorry, dudes.
No.
Sorry, dudes and dudettes. It's going to be my boy Marty. Say what's up,
bud. What's going on, everybody? Welcome as always. Thank you for joining us. If you're on live in the chat right there, or if you are watching on the rewind, we really, really appreciate you guys joining us. We have an interesting list tonight because this is, as you're gonna see, it's predominantly something. And so, but nevertheless, it's my understanding it's got a lot of good reviews. Some of them, mediocre, some of them really, really good, depending on if you like the character or not. But nevertheless, guys, thank you. Lady Laura is, I believe, traveling on her way to the New York City ComicCon. So Lady Laura, if you're out there, please safe travels. I'm so jealous. Wish I was going as well. That's got to be amazing. One of my places I've always wanted to go is New York City ComicCon too. So maybe sometime in the future. Guys, as always, great list for you tonight. I'm here with Dr. Yo-Yo, Chris, and Gabe hosting this bad boy. He's doing an amazing job so far, brother.
Let's
roll. That's all I got.
Thank you, Marty. And as mentioned before, we got Dr. Yo-Yo in the house. Yo, Dr. Yo-Yo.
Oh, don't
what's up, everybody?
Too many yos, okay? You got to stretch.
That's a lot of yos, yo.
Yos in there. Hey, I'm happy to be pinch hitting in. Of course, you're hosting, filling in for Laura, and I'm filling in the second spot. And between the two of us, neither of us are good looking enough to fill Laura's box. Okay, so I mean, I could try to pose, but it's just not going to work. So. Hey, you got a bunch of guys in here today. We're going to talk about comics. Laura's at New York ComicCon. She's on her way there. Hey, Gabe, isn't New York ComicCon like one of the things that CovrPrice is covering right now?
Yeah, we'll get to that right after the DJ intro.
All right. Well, hey, let's do the DJ intro.
All right. Let's just go with this bad. Excellent. That's the way we start the CovrPrice top 10, guys. That's Lord of the Long Box. always keeping it live here for our boy TiVo. Rest in peace. Got to have that Star Wars DJ to kind of start this show out this week, because this show this week is going to be absolutely awesome. We got a lot to talk about today, guys. So, but before that said, a little extra special for everybody who's here today. We got a couple prime announcements from CovrPrice. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Give me a sec. Yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about, guys.
We're talking about good Prime too. We're not talking about that Logan Paul stuff.
No, not that dirty energy drink nonsense. Probably
that's some good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, we're talking about. This is comic books, and we're going to talk about some prime time.
No NFTs,
prime stuff.
No Bitcoins.
No Bitcoins, none of that nonsense stuff going on here, guys. What we got going on for CovrPrice is, check it out. So New York ComicCon. All right, so we got the NYCC exclusives list. All right, everybody. This is the exclusive list that CovrPrice has put together. CovrPrice is finishing off the big Comic-Con season off. Finishing the Comic-Con season off right this year with New York Comic-Con 2024. With currently, just at the moment right now, is 481 and counting. There's going to be some more coming your way, folks. 481 exclusives will be offered this year. They're adding them to their handy dandy exclusives page. All right. Let me see here. We got this going. Right. There's too many stuff on here. I got to take something down to put something back up. That's what she said. All right. So this is the exclusive page that has some awesome features in here too, guys. So we got the ability to filter by publisher, filter by current fair market value, and a search bar to find keywords. Like if you want to look up a creator's name, if you want to look up a specific retailer, or which panels at the convention will be doing giveaways. So make sure you guys check back every day because more and more exclusives are going up as they are being announced. Photos going up. Hey, I know this exclusive from a certain place, Bird City.
Exactly.
Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to, of course, Miss Bird City Laura herself. So that's the first one here. Give me a sec.
Nice feature right there. Great. I love the way you can filter those things out too.
I just love the idea that, hey, if you guys are going, if you want to go to San Diego or something, not San Diego, if you want to go to New York Comic-Con, if you're going, here is all the exclusives that are currently announced, where they're going to be available, what the current prices are. So if you're going, you're going to have yourself a list.
I gotta have me one of those, man. That zombie Trump. I have not got a chance to go. I love that, man.
That's cover of Trump.
That's awesome.
Link is in the chat, everybody. So link is in the chat. So you go and check this out. Again, it's awesome. If you're going, you kind of have yourself a little bit of a game plan. Like I used to write this stuff down in a notebook when I used to go to comic book conventions.
Yeah, me too.
What panels were, all that kind of fun stuff. Or, hey, if you're not able to go, but you got that good old homie hookup, right? You can send it to a friend as well. Like, hey, bro, I want this. I want that. Yep. This is what it looks like. Because sometimes somebody will tell you, hey, can you get me this book? You're like, yeah. And you go to the table and you're like, there's like 16 books here on the table. Which one are we looking for, right? So this is super handy dandy. This is an awesome tool. That's awesome. So this is something that if you're going, go prepared. Have your tools, have information with you. I mean, that's what the show is all about, right? Being informed, having tools, going there with some knowledge. So definitely make sure you guys check out. Here's the link on CovrPrice. Hit it up for that. Now, one more really cool bit of information as well is CovrPrice eBay giveaway live stream. So it's an eBay live stream. But with a little bit of a kicker, as in it's a giveaway. So we're doing giveaways. In addition, CovrPrice is bringing NYCC to you with over, check this out, guys, with over $2,000 in giveaways. So for this eBay event, make sure you join them this Saturday, October 19th, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is the correct time, or 10:30 Eastern time, or top it up with whatever Mountain Central time that you're at as well. So 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern time, as they will host, along with ANZ Comics, they will be hosting an eBay live giveaway from the eBay booth on the convention floor at NYCC. So if you're at NYCC, check them out at the eBay booth. If you can't make it to NYCC, check them out in the morning and do some live giveaways of over $2,000 worth of awesome stuff. So check out the social media for preview of exclusives included in the stream. To take part in the giveaway, follow the link in the chat and bookmark the event. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna put that bookmark or put that link in the chat as well.
I think they already did.
No, that was the CovrPrice NYCC exclusive one.
Yeah, that's the exclusive one.
Yeah. Let me learn how to use a computer real fast and put this back into the chat too.
It's been a while for me too, man.
It's just trying to copy a link in my Facebook thing. It's not working. So I had to like open it, go to eBay, copy it from eBay, bam, put it right into CovrPrice. Boom, boom, Bob's your uncle. Let's make it work. So again, eBay live giveaway. It's at the booth, but you can also do it on your, through your own eBay stuff. $2,000 of awesome, exclusive, fun, everything. Giveaway material like crazy. Over 30 NYCC exclusives and more happening this Saturday. So that is that, everybody. Whew. Man, NYCC is kicking off, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
They're doing it right this year.
So Matt and John are out there this week, right?
I don't know if it's Matt and John, but it's
okay.
CovrPrice.
It's CovrPrice.
It's CovrPrice.
Hopefully they have like a TV set up at their booth and they're playing, our videos, just looping it back and back.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about, right? Hey,
what it's all about. Promoting it.
And if you're going to New York ComicCon, go say hey to Matt. Go say hey if John's there, if Matt's there, whoever's there. Make sure you give CovrPrice some love.
Yeah,
we're here.
They love
you give us a home
when you hug them from behind.
Oh yeah, I think Matt's a bald guy too, right? Like me, like Marty. And the best thing you do is rub his bald head. Every bald guy loves that.
Oh, that's
not weird.
It's like a crystal ball, man. You gotta work it, man. You gotta work that bald head, dude. Here we go.
You gotta go bring him some
if you speak to it really nicely, it'll tell you the future too.
Yeah.
Excuse me, bald head. Can you tell me the future? Kind of a thing. So.
Oh man,
that works. That is awesome stuff. All right. So again, shout out to CovrPrice. Thanks a lot for all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and roll with.
Let's do that.
With the top 10 list hitting up this week. You know what? A little behind the scenes. We didn't pick who goes first. So you guys on live on the air.
We did.
We did.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay.
Well, someone picked for me. So we're gonna go with that.
Marty just got voluntold of what
pretty much. I mean, shit, I'm back to being private in this thing right here. Right. Okay.
All right, so let's go for it, guys. CovrPrice top 10. We're gonna, but before it's a top 10, there is a runner-up. This is the top 11 list, everybody. That's right. So make sure in the chat you put in, your scores, right? Right now everybody is 0 for 11. We haven't talked about number 11 yet. So as we go along, let us know. Is it 1 of 11 that you got, 2 of 11, whatever the case might be? Hit it up in the chat. And let's roll with our first comic book of the week.
Yes, here we go. Number 11, which is the runner-up, is Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes Special, number 1, Geraldo Sandoval, published by Marvel in October of 2024. The collecting community has made their feelings known regarding Phantasm. So far, all signs indicate she's garnering much interest, especially regarding her first full appearance. Marvel wasn't secretive about her debut, yet some still miss the chance to secure a copy. They've been steadily rectifying that for several weeks now. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 87% with a high sale of $18 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $14. There you go.
So not
Back
too
down.
bad, right? $14 is the current near market or near mint, right? But
Yeah.
top sells $18, so it's holding kind of steady. It's not much of a difference from that $18 and $14 cover point. So we're
Absolutely not much of a difference. I think, I mean, if I'm right, I believe this is the second week of this being on the list. So I think it still has room to grow. I think too, it has also a lot of room to fall as well, depending on how well this does. And this is once again speculation of of the character. This is a first, and this is also the first appearance, right? So, I mean, you know, take your chances and be very cautious. I always say, be very, very cautious if you're going to speculate. But one thing I think that this has going for it is the fact that it's a number one in her first full appearance, if that. So that's why I believe it has room to grow on it too.
Yeah, there's this character is interesting. I mean, so instead of the chain, she's got the barbed wire, right? And
a skirt.
Yeah, and a skirt. Thank you. Very good.
and boobs. So yeah.
And roller skates. But so it's interesting because Marvel's tried to do, you know, the daughter of, the son of a lot. They've tried to do it a lot. And most of the time it kind of falls flat until the character is reintroduced in the future with a repackage and, you know, a grittier tone. And then it usually does okay. This appears to be working right out the gate. So cool. Well, I'll be interested to see where this goes. I am very curious about all of the Ghost Rider first appearances right now, because it seems that every iteration of Ghost Rider or Spirit of Vengeance first appearance right now is going up in value and selling very well. And I really wonder if there's just something on the works that is, you know, in the background that people are thinking of that, you know, might be getting some attention pretty soon.
I mean, think about this. Look at Agatha, okay, and look what's going on with Agatha as well. We're going to be getting Billy. God, what's her name? Scarlet Witch's son. Yeah,
Billy Maximoff.
Wiccan.
Yeah, Billy Maximoff. We're getting that, right?
Say Wiccan.
Well, yeah, Wiccan. Okay, we're getting Wiccan, right? Or Teen, right? As they introduced him, Teen. I mean, look at what they're doing right there. So we're seeing a younger character come in live action. So I'm wondering if we're going to see some type of a mesh of the universe itself with seeing other characters.
We know the MCU is setting up for the Young Avengers.
Absolutely.
Because they've been doing that, right? They've been setting that up over time. So we know that's eventually coming. I think Ghost Rider needs to be reintroduced to the main Marvel universe before they can do that with, you know, a Phantasm. But you know, a MCU Ghost Rider has got to be right around the corner. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I know. I what you said earlier, Chris, I'm right there with you. Like, there's something going on. They keep doing cool new Ghost Rider stuff. There's a lot of Ghost Rider kind of being pushed in the comic book realm. So I do think sooner or later we're going to get an MCU live action Ghost Rider. Now the question is, which one is it? Johnny Blaze? Is it going to be Robbie Reyes? Is it going to be whomever? Yeah. Right? That's kind of going to be the thing. I love Ghost Rider. I got all their first appearances. I mean, besides this one, this is new. I'll wait for it. But it's about time we got some Ghost Rider stuff. We need some paranormal, fun, cool stuff. I get it. We're getting that with like Agatha and like, you know, a little bit of that with like WandaVision. but I would love to see just more ghouls and goblins and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. I personally, like I said, I think last week, I'm really into the witchcraft, the witches, this, all of that, the magic and everything. So I'm really loving Agatha. I'm loving anything that does with any type of movies of witchery, if you will. But so this is definitely up my alley. I really like that. But you're right. You're absolutely right, Gabe. I'd love to see some more monsters. I'd love to see some hell beings. I mean, there's talk of possibly maybe a Lady Death at one point. Rumors, not talk, but just rumors. Right. I mean, so there's a lot of things out there. It all, it all depends. I mean, there's a lot of things up in the air.
Yeah,
cool.
Should be good.
All right, so that's the start of the list, everybody. That's our runner-up. Let's go ahead, and our boy Chris is going to give us the first list of the official top 10.
All right, so kicking off our top 10 list, we have Totally Awesome Hulk, number 1 from Marvel in December in 2015. And the rumor mill is at it again. There are a few rumors currently going around the MCU. The first is related to Captain America, Brave New World. According to a few leakers, the film's ending and after credits scene were meant to tease a future World War Hulk project. The second rumor is that Ghostbusters' Logan Kim has been cast as Amadeus Cho, a successor to Bruce Banner's Hulk. While he first appears in Amazing Fantasy 15, this issue marks the first time he is transformed into the Hulk. Only time will tell if this issue takes off with any official announcement from the MCU. We tracked 12 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 36% and a high sale of $26 for a CGC 9.4 and a current near mint raw price of $16. I got to tell you, $26 for a 9.4, even though it's not a 9.8, that's pretty much the cost of getting it graded. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that the raw price is in the mid. I think that it could grow some more. But this is definitely another one of those characters where you just kind of have to keep an eye on, especially with how complicated the rights are when it comes to Incredible Hulk. Sony's got it, and Universal has a stake, and it's all complicated. So bringing in another Hulk character kind of frees it up a little bit. So yeah,
I'm a little surprised that somebody paid $26 for a CGC 9.4. Just because this is my way of looking at it. I could probably get a better condition book in a back issue bin somewhere. Or at least like similar grade, if not better, probably for cheaper, especially if what's the new market, $16 it said $16 you probably get yourself a better copy. But
for sure,
again, $26 for a CGC, it's at least $45 to get it graded. So I mean, you're like
right. I mean, you can't fault the guy. I mean, $26 bucks, right?
Shipping back and all that, right? So insurance, all that fun stuff. $26 is a steal, but at $16, I could probably find it in the back issue bin. Better condition,
there's the funny thing. This is the cover A to this. So I do not have the cover A. I have the 2 variants to this, of the Totally Awesome Hulk. Actually, and I was at a convention, and anyways, long story. I'm not going to reminisce, but this character right here, are we going to see another Hulk eventually come out? I don't know, man. I mean, we have the Red Hulk coming out, right? And we have, I don't know, is this a gimmick? Is this them trying to push something onto you? Because we've seen Hulk even in the movies of the Hulk world, right? Multiple Hulks as well. I mean, is this part of that? I mean, or is this just trying to throw something in there as a filler, if you will? I don't know. I don't know if this.
So the fact that we haven't had a Hulk movie, right? I mean, he's always co-starring. He was in the Thor movie. He was in the the Infinity movies and the Avenger movies. And he's guest starred in a couple other ones, but he hasn't had his own movie because of the rights issues with Sony.
Right.
But Sony doesn't own the Amadeus Cho Hulk, and they also don't own Miles Morales. So that's why you're seeing these alternative but kind of the same characters. And the Cho Hulk is very smart, very deliberate, and kind of a smart ass, and it's a different kind of experience than what you get with like Savage Angry Hulk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's more in control of it. Like he's kind of the guy that would do what we would do if we became a Hulk. Like you try to get chicks and be cool and that kind of stuff, right? So he has control over it. It's not like you said, the Savage Hulk, where it's just like, Bruce Banner's gone.
I don't even work out.
Yeah, exactly. Do you even bench 400,000 pounds? Come on, right? All right. So number 10, kicking off the top 10 list, everybody. First appearance of Amadeus Cho as a Totally Awesome Hulk. That's Totally Awesome Hulk numero uno. Marty, what's the next book on the list for us, bud?
That's a very good question, which deserves a very good answer. And we see number 9 coming at Mark Spears' Monster #1 by Mark Spears. And this is Looking Down on You, cover A, by Keen Spot Entertainment, published in September of 2024. Cover A has been the recent trend when books have been hitting shelves. With so many variants to pick from, it seems like the regular covers are getting harder to come by. This book has even more going for it, though. Monsters have been doing well on the aftermarket, particularly on the covers featuring classic monsters. So why wouldn't the cover featuring all the classics not sell well? Some other variants and homages showcase all the classics, but this one is truly terrifying. We are given the perspective of all these monsters looking down upon their victim, us. We tracked 13 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 91%, with a high sale of $78 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current near mint raw price of $28. Now, of course, this is come on, Mark Spears, right? If you can't get the one that's sought after the most, right? You're not going to go wrong picking the other ones, right? Because you've got Mark Spears doing all the variant covers to this as well. This is, of course, the homage to the Boys cover with them looking down on you. All the other variants are some homage to something of different. There's the Wolverine one. There's the Dracula, Tomb of Dracula #1 homage. There's so many other different ones as well coming out. And as not only that, we have next month Monsters #2 coming up as well, and that seems to be doing well as also. Already, there's the FOCs are already reporting high on sales for that already, pre-orders. And I tell you what, man, Monsters, you can't go wrong. The classics, right? Dracula, Werewolf, Frankenstein, Bride of Swamp, the Swamp Thing, right? Or no, this Creature from the Black Lagoon, right? Yep. Mummy. Yeah, so those are the classics, man, and you can't go wrong with that. And I love this. This is up my alley once again. Monsters. Gabe, you talked about Monsters earlier. There you go.
Well, I didn't realize that this was an homage to the Boys. I was thinking NWA Straight Outta Compton. The album cover.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's just me.
I really like the fact that these smaller publishers like Keen Spot are getting such good sales, because it means that we're kind of entering a new healthy economic age of comic books, because this isn't tied to any big movies, right? It's not tied to any extremely successful toy line or Saturday morning cartoon. Not that those are a thing anymore, but it's just because these are classic characters with fantastic art and a publisher that knows how to tickle the nostalgia bone to get you to pick up the variant covers. This is good. This is good for the industry.
Yeah.
Marty, Todd's got a question. I don't know. I haven't read it. This isn't mine or for me, but
yeah, I see that. No, this is absolutely a cover by there. As far as I know, I have not read this. Of course, I don't own a copy of this as well. And so, but my understanding of the research that I've done on this A lot of it's a cover buy, which is you got Mark Spears. I mean, and gorgeous covers, just like Chris said.
That's the driving force of the industry right now is covers. So I get it. I can see how that could be just a cover buy for people. Yeah. Plus, it's Halloween time, right? It's spooky season, right? So
there you go.
So yeah. Mark Spears dropping this at this time is probably the best thing he could have done. Like, this probably would have floundered, any other time during the year. Like, if he would have dropped this during the winter or summer or anything like that, probably wouldn't have gotten that. Everybody's in the holiday spirits right now of Halloween. Yeah. So, and with that said, real quick, everybody in the chat, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Let's talk about Halloween candy for a quick second.
Let's talk about Halloween candy because here I'm going to need you to share my screen real fast. I need to bring this up. So on Thursday, right, we started a debate. Candy corn good, candy corn bad. I don't know why, but Laura really likes candy corn, and that stuff is nasty. So I did a poll. And I want people to go into the chat, and I want you to put hashtag candy corn good, hashtag candy corn bad. Tell me what you want, what you think about candy corn. Because I think candy corn is an abomination. I think it is the most disgusting thing in the world. It should not be allowed to touch the kids' candy bags. In my mind, candy corn is the Kmart of Halloween candy. It is disgusting. So get in that chat. Tell me what you think. Candy corn good, candy corn bad. I'm going to collect this until Halloween. We'll see how we're doing. Right now, all the candy corn equals bad, folks. They're on my side because we are.
Well, here's the thing, too. I mean, you could be hashtag Dr. Yo-Yo, or you can be hashtag Team Laura and Marty. With candy corns, right?
I'm not going to divide it up like that, okay? Because if we're going to do a electoral college popularity contest, you guys are going to win hands down. But
really?
I don't know if I can defend you standing up for candy corn because that stuff's nasty.
I'll tell you what candy is nasty. The worst Halloween candy of all time, and this is the stuff that when I was a kid, if I got it in my pillowcase, I would just kind of just throw it in someone's bushes.
Let me guess. I'm going to guess. It's one of two. But I think you're going to say raisins.
No, I like raisins.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't eat raisins if somebody gave me raisins. That's like somebody giving me an apple. Like, no, thank you. Tootsie Rolls.
No one wants
Tootsie Rolls are the worst. Tootsie Rolls are the industrial runoff of a candy factory that makes better candy. Like, that stuff is gross. I'm talking about like the regular cat turd looking. Tootsie Rolls. The ones that are flavored are okay.
Wow.
The regular old, just like, it just looks like somebody's just like, their spit cup turned into like a candy bar. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are interesting, really.
Candy corn.
I mean, you take two of the classics.
No, thank you.
Two of the classics is candy corn and Tootsie Rolls, right?
I would rather get pennies and toothbrushes in my Halloween candy than Tootsie Rolls.
Candy corn, but it's candy corn. It's just like it's hard and crunchy somehow and tastes bad, and I don't understand. Listen, you guys are putting it in the live chat, which I appreciate, but if you want your vote to be captured, you got to put it down in the comment section underneath the towel bar. Okay, so scroll down, go to the comments, and tell me what you like. Do you like candy corn or do you hate candy corn? Are you a good American or a bad American?
Wow.
Because candy corn is gross.
I'm going to come up with a thesis on that and do my dissertation on candy corn, bad or good.
All right. Hey, candy corn, bad or good, make it a mental health factor, right? Because candy corn's gross. Candy corn is... I agree with
cool.
Derek
If you stack it in a circle, it makes a corn on the cob.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. Oh God. All right.
I'm sending you a bag of candy corns for your birthday, man.
If anybody ever sells comic books to Chris, throw in some candy corn.
There's the candy corn
Right
in there.
there in the Gemini mailer, a handful of candy corn.
Oh man, yeah. Instead of packing peanuts, use candy corn.
Yeah.
You know what? It has the exact same taste, so fine.
No,
So
you're thinking of
interesting.
like circus peanuts. Those things taste like that's packing peanuts to me too.
Oh,
All right. Marty, you're up. Is it no, Chris? You're up next.
I got this one.
All right, let's see here. So coming up next, everybody. All right. So Mark Spears, Monsters #1. This is the looking down at you variant, boys variant, MWA cover, whatever you want to call it. Awesome.
NWA, yeah.
Yep. All right, #8 for you, Chris. What do we got going on?
All right, so this is the book that everybody is talking about. Everybody is giving positive rave reviews with a few outliers for the Absolute Batman, this DC's answer to the Ultimate Universe. The Absolute Batman hype plus Jim Lee, those two factors make for a mind-blowing and highly collectible comic book cover. This is Absolute Batman #1, the Jim Lee foil variant that came out just last week from DC Comics. This Jim Lee 1 in 100 cover is the foil version, and it is selling like hotcakes out there. Out of all 34 covers released, many of which are New York ComicCon exclusives, by the way, including a badass Akira one. It looks like the Jim Lee covers and the regular covers are the ones to chase. We tracked 29 copies sold, and a 7-day growth trend of 171% with a high sale of $30 for Near Mint Raw, and a current Near Mint Raw price median of $22. Now, I loved Absolute Batman. I read it. I picked it up last week. I finally sat down and I read it, and it was so good that I pulled up my chat and I started chatting with Lando back and forth, and we talked about it for like an hour. And then after I was done talking with him, I got on eBay and My Comic Shop and Third Eye Comics, and I literally bought every different kind of cover that I could find that wasn't, like $100 cover.
Right.
So some of the sales figures we'll be talking about is because of Chris.
Yeah, and then I
Probably so. Yeah, right.
On eBay, I found a 9.8 for like $75 of cover A, and I snap grabbed that because this is it's so good. This is going to be one of those books.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of those books that we look back on and either say, how did they mishandle this so badly? It was so good to start, or this is so good. I'm so glad they did this. It's an amazing book. You got to read it.
I have my copy coming in the mail here shortly. So, and from what I gather, we were talking in backstage earlier. I'm currently reading Absolute Power, and I was hoping to go from there into the Absolute Batman. But according to you guys, it doesn't have really a tie-in to that at all. Okay,
I didn't read Absolute Power, but I did read the DC All-in-One. In fact, I feel really dirty right now. Like I feel like my skin's kind of crawling. It's because I bought a foil cover for DC.
Oh, very interesting.
Foil cover. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't need to read it. You don't need to read anything. You could just jump right into Absolute Batman #1 and just roll with it from there. Like
and
All In had a little bit of just like how the universe is kind of created. Like it's kind of cattywampus and kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But none of that really ties into the book other than like some background stuff. I guess you can say is really all that you're really going to see for it. But I agree with Chris. I read it. I loved it. I had this on my pull list. I put this on my pull list like 3-4 months ago, along with Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman. So I'm really looking forward to this. What do you guys think of the Jim Lee cover though? Since we're really just talking about
I think it's going to be a tied-in like he did with the Batman and the Superman tie-in. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
Like a connecting cover, you mean?
It's like it's when Batman's on the gargoyle and then you have Superman's facing the other direction. It's a possibility that it might go the same way with Absolute Superman and Absolute Wonder Woman. So I wonder if they're going to do a link, kind of a similarity as covers for that, and I would keep my eye out on that, because I'll tell you right now, the Superman one is easy to get. God, it slips my mind as far as what book it is, but the Batman is the hard to find one.
Hey, shout out to Jabba Crease for, I think, might be the first sponsored chat I've ever seen on this show.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Specifically for Gabe for breaking down and going foil. So there you go, Gabe. You can
Congratulations, Gabe.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
I had to do it. I had to do it because I saw this, and this is the one and only DC logo. I think this is like the best logo.
That's really beautiful.
It's the best logo they've ever done. It was actually, I forget the guy's name, but it was created by the same guy that did the I Heart New York logo. Same guy created this logo. So how cool is that, right? And this is the best logo. I see it on the Absolute Batman here, so I'm glad that DC is bringing back this logo, because the logos they did for like New 52 or Rebirth were just complete garbage compared to like this iconic one that was from like the late 70s, early 80s for sure. But yeah, this is my DC logo right here. For sure.
I mean, they're using it for the Absolute series. Look in the bottom right-hand corner of this image.
Yeah, I saw it on there. Yeah, so I'm glad that they're bringing it back. Like that's the iconic logo of all time. So again, Jazz, hey, thanks again for that $5 super chat. That is so cool and awesome. We really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. That's fun.
That's the first one we've ever gotten, man. You know, so that's you gotta frame that $5 super chat and put it on the wall, man. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just screenshot this, and
yeah. There you go.
So this art is awesome. The book is awesome. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the series because later on, I've got a feeling that we're going to see this book pop up in a few more iterations.
All right. So the Absolute Batman #1. This is the Jim Lee foil.
Yeah.
Coming up next. What do we got?
Yes, number 7. She's back on it. Beauty #1 by Image Comics, published in August of 2015. Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, and Ashton Kutcher have been set to star in the FX new series, The Beauty. The book has been received a tremendous amount of interest just based on the sheer star power alone. The casting announcement has shown fans that FX isn't cutting any corners when it comes to the series. The casting has built up anticipation for the series, which has also translated to a big boost in the first issue's aftermarket sales. We tracked 15 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 164%, with a high sale of $76 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw of $38. Okay, so this is back. She's beautiful. We got some A-list celebrities going to be starting on in a Netflix series. Got my dog on the background right here snoring up a storm, and I know you can probably hear it. My apologies for that, everybody. If this was Thursday, it would be on your bingo card, right?
Yeah. So I still haven't read this yet. I understand the premise of the series. I think it's interesting. I'm not surprised that it got optioned and is going to get. I mean, it's a show about beautiful people, right? So of course it's going to make its way on TV.
right.
But
it's Hollywood for you, right? Beautiful people, right? Yeah.
It's very interesting. This is a book back in 2015 that I'm sure nobody thought was ever really going to be getting any attention. So to see it now as a real hot book, it's appeared on the top 10 list multiple times. I mean, this is the kind of thing you got to look for. You got to look for those series that are going to transition over to small screen or big screen or streaming screen in this case, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. This is gonna be a fun book. I mean, this is a book you guys can probably find in some back issue bin somewhere like that. Like, I think it's still out there. You guys can definitely find that somewhere in the back issue bin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But we're talking about like online aftermarket prices. So $76 if you're looking for this right now.
In 2015, man, LCS has bought tons of Image, man. So you're gonna find this in the back bins, man. Anyway, so I would recommend going there first.
Every image book back then was going to be like, oh, we're the new Chew. This might be the next Chew. We should get the new number one. It might be the next Chew, you know. So, or the next Walking Dead or the next Saga. Like every book at that time was trying, and a lot of it was going up at the time. Like back then, you wanted to get every image book because they were, you know, they were $3, $3.50, whatever, but they were always end up being like a $10 book in the aftermarket right away.
You know, one thing I'm seeing too, I mean, this is another book from Image from 2015 that came up on the list. We got Revival that came up a few weeks ago too. You know, now you got another 2015. So I'm wondering, you know, there's no pattern there yet, but I'm just kind of observing that in a sense, if you kind of reading the tea leaves, if you will.
Yeah. A lot of great stuff is coming out back then. That was a good time for
oh yeah, absolutely.
2015 eras. Yeah, for sure. All right. Number 7 was the Beauty #1, a return on the list. Some people are showing up on the board. There's some offers out there, but this is only number 7. So you do still have a chance to get on the board. So hopefully with number 6,
there it is.
We'll get on the board. What do we got for number 6?
Yeah. Hey, so Gabe, before I read number 6, I just want to talk about real fast. We're halfway through the list right now, and if you guys could, you know, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, we would really appreciate that. And we like to interact with our audience as much as we possibly can. And one of the ways that we're doing it this month, in the month of October, is most of the lords are posting every day horror or comic covers on Instagram, and I can just show you real quick, you know, an example. So if you can pull that up, Gabe, you can see that these are all the covers that I posted this month so far. You know, all of the horror covers here, and we're using the hashtag Halloween comic covers, Lords of Horror comics, and Lords of the Long Box, and we're tagging TiVo because this is something that TiVo used to love. Every October, he would always make a big deal about horror covers. So you can play along, join us, get on Instagram, find your favorite covers. I'm picking the covers out of my collection, and it's a lot of fun. Every day I get to go search my my CovrPrice inventory to look for what cover I want to feature that day, and then, you know, a little Photoshop with some background, and then posted it after a quick synopsis of the book, and I love doing it. So
hey, that Afterlife of Archie is an awesome book too. That's a great series. That's a great,
it really is. Yeah. And so, by all means, you know, you guys can play along. We like to interact with you more than just this show. There's a Monday show that happens, I think, once every other week. Tuesdays is your top 10. Thursdays are your shakers. Marty and I are on that one. And then Fridays we got Comics Covered, which I don't remember if happens every week or not. And then you'll know if it's coming up by hitting that bell icon so you get your notifications.
That's right.
So yeah.
Let's do it.
Number 6, right? We're on number 6.
Number 6. 666.
So we got Absolute Batman #1. This is the primary cover, cover A in Virgin foil, and this is Nick Dragato. And again, Absolute Batman is absolutely dominating this list. This version of the cover is up a few notches higher than the Jim Lee cover that we just talked about. This is also a 1 in 100 ratio cover. Dragato has illustrated a fantastic cover. Batman is standing strong, and now for a fairly reasonable price, you can add this to your collection. $30, it's not a big ask. We tracked 14 copies sold, 7-day growth trend of 209%, high sale $30 for a near mint copy, and a median price of $29 for a near mint raw. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. If you kind of look at the background, right, you can see that Batman he's in like a deconstructed building, or an incomplete building overlooking the skyline of Gotham. And that's one of the very unique things about this story, is that you have a totally stripped down version of Batman here. and it's such a unique take because we have Batman just really just getting down to the core of what makes that character special, and it's not the money, it's not the super powered friends, and
it's not the gadgets, it's not the Batmobile. Yeah,
right. It is just character, and this is full of character.
All right. Hey, Matt's here. What's up,
Is
Matt?
Matt here?
Matt's hanging out right now.
Hey,
Nope,
Matt,
I'm not here. I'm just dropping an image in. I'm out.
Oh, all right. I didn't know you wanted. I didn't know if you wanted to be
I
on the
just
show.
realized
Hang
I
out with
forgot
us
to
tonight.
upload the giveaway for you guys. So I'm out. I'm not here. I'm just passing through.
hey, Matt, you gonna be at New York, or is John going?
Might as well pop on here. Yeah, we're both gonna be on. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
we'll both be there. We got the giveaway stream on Saturday, which
Nice.
we'll get to. But I just dropped in the grid of all the books we're giving away. So it's a lot. It's like 40 books.
Hey, you owe Gabe $5.
I do. Or
You got a $5
super chat. The very first super chat in long back history.
Yeah, I keep meaning like, can we ban okay, yeah. If we get super chats, they go to you guys. So
Don't worry about it. I don't
We'll
care.
have to figure that out for sure.
You got YouTube is going to take their cut. Taxes is going to take their cut. I don't need a 35 cents. Like,
Gabe, I like this. I like this aesthetic from you to me. It's a very natural transition to Marty.
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's do
go.
that. There we go.
Chris, did you ever think that you'd be the fancy one?
There you go. I'm doing my part.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
can pull it
We
off.
just need John. We just need John in the mix somewhere,
This
right?
is exactly why we have Laura here. Exactly. Why.
Nobody wants
love
a
it.
negative hair sausage.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys keep doing. I just dropped in the image for you guys.
All right.
So yeah.
There's a question for you though, Matt, that
Yeah.
you can handle. How do they add stuff that's missing on the site?
So the short form, I'll just let you guys know the missing items is super backed up just because I mean there's so much requests and there's a lot of different requests out there too for make this item key. Hey, you're missing this information. Oh, here's a little. You're using the wrong image. There's a lot of that. So we have a team that goes through this stuff constantly. I would just say reach out to info@coverprice.com and just let us know the book. That is probably the fastest way. If you want something done really quick. If you have a list of things that you add, then submit your stuff through the missing items portal. It's usually at the bottom of every book. If you go into any book, it's usually at the bottom. And then just let us know, hey, here's my username. I have like 30 requests in there. And then the team will knock it out. That's definitely the way. That's the quick way to do it. But otherwise, we're constantly chipping away at it. It's an everyday process. We put in, I think the past year, we put in 7,500 missing items or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we have almost 1 million books in our
Wow.
system.
Just think of it as if, I mean, this is like, a masterpiece in the making, right? I mean, Leonardo and Michelangelo, they had to chip away at that marble before it became a masterpiece, right? So kind of looking in that aspect.
Yeah. And just to let you know, the New York ComicCon exclusives that we tracked, it's currently at what 485, I think, just for New York ComicCon. And this is actually a bigger conversation. I feel like I'm completely derailing the top 10 here. But
we'll talk more. Yeah.
They feel like the comics are dead. I'm like, there's almost 500 Comic-Con exclusives. It's like the market's not dead. They're just not buying silver, golden age, copper. They're buying new exclusives because it's $20 in, $30 in, and that maybe it'll be worth $60. Maybe it'll be worth $50. That's all that people are kind of interested in right now. It's just buying the covers that they want. So I mean, there is a whole story. That's a whole conversation for another day. But
that's a whole other show we could talk about.
It's a whole.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I could probably rant a few things or two on that one.
I turned off my image here. There. Yeah, no. Oh, geez, that's a bad angle. That's why my camera switched here. That was a terrible angle. There we go.
It's all right, man.
Wow,
You're a
that
stud.
was awful.
Let's do it.
Well, hopefully they won't announce another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle #1 book for New York ComicCon, because otherwise you're going to have another 10,000 covers. You're going to
No, there are plenty of Turtles books. Actually, what is kind of taking over the list a little bit. I think we're actually doing one placeholder for it. The Bad Idea is doing their 100 series for each. They're releasing 5 titles. And every single copy of 100 books are a different cover. So technically they have 500 variants just on their own going into New York Comic Con. So it is amazing. quite a feat. We're not doing all 5. The 500 are in the system if you want to see it. But I think we're just going to do like one placeholder for all those various titles. But, yeah.
You can filter it out anyways, if you don't want to see it.
Yeah. So the why I was popping in and drop that image so I could like start packing for our flight tomorrow. But
hey, safe travels, Matt. You and John, safe travels, brother.
Right. Well, if you find us, we got hats, we got shirts. If you guys send John your shopping list. He loves that. So it's like our internal team will start sending requests, and he's just like,
Hey, John, can you find me a Daredevil #1, like CGC4, for like $3,000? I'll be good.
He agreed to it for San Diego, and if you've ever been to San Diego, getting from one booth to like a booth 5 feet away takes an hour. So like, if you're chasing down books, it's like, I mean, that's an over exaggeration, but it's not too far from the truth.
If somebody's pack muling for you at a convention, guys, throw him some extra shekels or something. It's a lot of work.
Give him some candy corn, because apparently
are you guys linking up with Laura while you guys are down there?
Yeah, we're doing dinner with Bird City folks on Saturday.
Awesome.
A few of our internal team folks, and so we'll be meeting up with people all week.
Awesome.
Be fun. That's the best part of the con, is drinking and having food with people in the community. Yeah,
I agree.
All right, keep doing your thing. I was never here.
All right, man. All right. Okay, I think we finished talking about number 6.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
We did.
We're pushing an hour, and we're only on number 5. This is a lot of fun. We're getting a lot of fun stuff. Matt popped in to say, "Hey, we're all bald except for Chris." Good beans for you, buddy. Thank you. Let's do it. Marty, you got number 5, man. What's up?
Oh, absolutely. Once again, we've got number 5 brings you Mark Spears' Monster #1, of course, by Mark Spears, The Dripping Blood Cover B by Keenspot Entertainment, published in September of 2024. Monsters is still trending on the aftermarket. It isn't just Halloween month that keeps these classic monsters going. They have been selling strong since September. The artwork on this cover is reminiscent of a different time in the horror genre. Its nostalgic pull could be why we saw this specific cover's sale jump. After all, Dracula is a classic. We tracked 10 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 324%, with a high sale of $41 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $36. And once again, we've got Mark Spears. We've got the other cover here. All these covers are beautiful by them. I mean, you've got the appeal. You've got that green effect as well. I mean, the classic Dracula. I mean, what more? We've talked in length about how great these covers are. And yes, once again, it goes back to the cover sells.
Was this a Kickstarter, or was this like mass market?
I don't know if it was a Kickstarter. I've never seen this on Kickstarter. Because I get the newsletters whenever they send. Never seen anything. It might have been mass market, man.
Cool. All right. Number 5, Mark Spears back again with Monsters #1. This time it's the Dripping Blood cover B. $41 raw, everybody. All right. Number 4, Chris, what do we got? Yeah, look at this. They got some 90s stuff happening. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Liger Style in the chat says that last one started off as a Kickstarter. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Liger.
This is one that should get everybody on the board. I mean, really, it should. You guys should all have this cover. We're 1 week away. This is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 375 by Marvel in 1993. This is what we call the Fortnite effect. We're 1 week away from the debut of the new Venom movie, Venom: The Last Dance. And Fortnite is releasing the symbiotes during their annual Fortnitemares event. It's in a competitive event called the Symbiote Cup. Players can win She Venom and Agony skins. If they are unable to win those skins during the live event, they can purchase them from the Fortnite store at a later date. The Venom: The Last Dance trailer shows a variety of symbiotes. And while this information, and with this information, many fans think that we could see a She Venom appear again. This book is getting tons of attention because of the great cover and the first appearance of Eddie Brock's wife, Anne Weying, who becomes She-Venom. We tracked 18 copies sold, a 7-day growth trend of 753%, high sale of $94 for a CGC 9.8 and a near mint raw price of $11. Fortnite. I know that if you ask my 13-year-old, Fortnite is dead. But I mean, I still play it, and there's still always people on it. And looking at the stats, which I prepped for before the show, Fortnite gets 2 million concurrent players at any given moment, and they spike between like 2 a.m. There's only about 1.5 million, and during the middle of the day, you can get as high as 12 million. So that's 12 million concurrent players at the same time, people playing at the same time. So this is a very popular game, and it causes things to happen in the markets that tie in, and action figures, and of course comic books. This is one of those times when we looked at the way that Gwenpool was moving. Right, Gwenpool moved when the skin came out in Fortnite. If you're looking at She-Venom for her first appearance in this book, and now she's a skin in Fortnite. There you go again. We have another Fortnite effect, and it's real. I mean, we should be paying attention to these sorts of things.
So that's
this book is.
Say it again.
I'm saying this is the first appearance of She-Venom. That's what, because I was wondering why this book was on the list, but because the story is just that this is Venom and Spider-Man. They agree, hey, if you don't come after me, I don't come after you.
Right.
Because Spider-Man saved Venom's parents, or Eddie Brock's parents.
Right.
So the character She-Venom doesn't appear, but her, it's the Eddie Brock of She-Venom. It's Anne Weying. It's She-Venom's. It's Eddie's wife, who becomes She-Venom later on. So it's the first introduction of the civilian character,
the woman. Okay, the character that becomes She-Venom. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Cool. Marty?
Yeah. Ditto, man. I mean, I think we've talked pretty much in length as far as once again we're seeing something that is, Amazing Spider-Man, right? That I think this is already organic as a key book. It's not a big key, but it's already a key book, and this was organic to that, anyways. Yeah. To see something spawn from that, I mean, you're seeing a little, not too much to be like, okay, 9.8. I mean, I'll spend $94 for a 9.8. I mean, I think that covers shipping and the book, the book itself and the slabbing and all that. Why not? So,
well, this was selling for like $30-$40, 9.8 slabbed. That's where this was at. And it jumped substantially.
Yeah.
And this is a good foil cover. This is a good foil, not like today's foils. This is a good foil. All right. With that said, number 4, Amazing Spider-Man 375, $94 for CGC 9.8.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 coming up.
Number 3 brings you Geiger number 7. This is the Gary Frank Midnight Nation homage surprise. The published by Image. Published by. Are you guys okay back there? Published by Image in October of 2024. If there is one thing that collectors love, it's a good secret variant cover. Since Ghost Machine launched its universe, Geiger has been generating interest lately. While this isn't a big key issue, it is a phenomenal cover that pays homage to J. Michael Straczynski. Oh man, Midnight Nation. It is important to note that this secret variant cover had a massive outlier high sale of $100.
Herbervlinger, Bert Hermgeif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Lingfucker.
I thought you were gonna wait until after the read, but then there was that. I think that was the delay on you, man.
It took me a while to find out. I was like, "Where's that video at?"
Is that what it was? Yeah, I was waiting for that, man. But I didn't know. I was like, man, is he waiting for after the read or? Okay. Anyways, it is important to note that this secret variant cover had a massive outlier high sale of $100. It looks like it was purchased the day before the book debuted, which now averages a current near mint raw price of $12.
Sucker.
It must have come from a Geiger mega fan who wanted to ensure their copy of this awesome homage. We tracked 22 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 637%. And, congratulations. If this is what the book was worth to him, then this is what the book is worth, right? I mean, you have those collectors that are going to pay whatever they feel, especially if it's nostalgic for them, especially if it's a something that takes them, of certain filler. I mean, it could be many different reasons why, but nevertheless, this guy, I mean, congratulations. This is what the book is worth to him.
Well, good for him. Now I can get it for $12.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But with this being a Midnight Nation homage by J. Michael Straczynski and Gary Frank, that's awesome. I like that. That was a great series. I haven't read Geiger yet. I've heard nothing but good things about Ghost Machine across the board. Everything from Ghost Machine I've heard great stuff about. So
yeah.
I'll probably check this out like in a trade paperback when it gets collected or something like that. I do definitely want to read and check it out. But it's cool to see Gary Frank go back home to Midnight Nation. That was one of his first big books he worked on.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if the item that sold may have been like signed or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, it could just be it was just a mistake. The guy wanted to put in $10 to put in $100. I'd be curious to see if that sale actually went through and it wasn't just canceled on the back end. But it's interesting to note that there was a $100 sale at one point for this cover.
It was just recent, so let me see if I can find it. But yeah, I don't know anything about this series. I've never even heard about it. I mean, obviously, I've heard of Gary Frank and Straczynski. I've heard of him, of course, but I don't know anything about this book.
It's one of Jeff Johns'. I think Jeff Johns' original creator-owned book. It was originally before Ghost Machine was around. I think it was just being pumped out by Image, and then they made Ghost Machine and they started pumping it out through there. So this is like the second volume, more or less, of Geiger. Yeah.
Is this volume 2 of the Geiger?
I think so, because there's already I know there's already like a volume 1. There's a hardcover already out for it. I think this is probably just a new series. So I think the whole Ghost Machine stuff is in one world. I might be wrong if I remember that correctly. Well, yeah, this is like a volume 2 of it. Yeah, even Liger knows what's up. Yeah. Read volume 1 of Geiger. That's awesome. Haven't read this run yet. So yeah, this is a second volume of things.
So I don't see anything on eBay. So it may have sold on a different platform.
That's the thing. Like with Brandon says his LCS, for whatever weird, out of control, random reason, they don't get Marvel. They don't get Marvel books.
Really?
So that's Brandon and probably whoever paid this money for it. That's what happens is if your LCS doesn't carry it, or if you don't have an LCS near you, a lot of people buy this stuff online. So that's where a lot of these numbers and these sales that we're talking about are generated from. People have to go to eBay or something like that. I know people that's their pull list is eBay. They just order off of eBay, right? So
it's interesting.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying that this is, it's always interesting to see a book like this, sell for a high price, because you always wonder why. It's very unique. Didn't know that this was a series. Apparently, I should be reading it, so I'll check it out.
All right. Number 3, the Geiger number 7, the Midnight Nation homage cover. Check out Midnight Nation while you're out there. If you're a fan of Jeff Johns, if you're a fan of Gary Frank or J. Michael Straczynski, check out Midnight Nation too. With that said, number 2 coming on up.
So before I read this, I'm sorry everybody that you had to hear me blow my nose. I've got a fall cold coming on.
Was that you?
I've
I was wondering what was going on.
I've been doing really good at muting myself every single time, and that time I just happened to double click. So
okay.
Number 2 is Absolute Batman number 1, the Jim Lee black and white variant. It's a 1/100 cover, and it just recently came out as well. How do you make a Jim Lee variant even better? Well, you take the color out. This 1/100 retailer incentive is moving quickly on the aftermarket. Usually the higher ratio covers don't sell as quickly due to the higher price of entry. But this is Jim Lee we're talking about. Jim Lee is a legend, and everybody knows his work, and he has a ton of fans. And when you have a lot of fans, you have a lot of people who have no hesitation in throwing down their wallets and saying, take my money for this black and white beauty. 36 copies sold, growth trend of 20% with a high sale of $150 for a near mint copy, and a near mint raw median price of $121.
Well, I can see that sketch variant selling because that's the thing. I mean, sketch variants are going to sell, especially if it's a 1/100, right? Yeah. So, and then on top of that, you got Jim Lee. Personally, I'm not a big fan of sketch variants. There are some sketch variants that I do love and that appeal to me, but they really have to grasp my interest, and they have to be really stand out to me. Nevertheless, I mean, Jim Lee can't go wrong, right? It's a Jim Lee. But this cover for black and white, I prefer it in color.
So there's one thing that I really like about this, and it's funny, Gabe, because I'm going to reference back to what we talked about earlier, that logo in the bottom right-hand corner. Everything's black and white except for that logo. I like that blue little pop. I dig it. I like that kind of thing. And on the regular one, it's a white logo. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's a great book. It's a great book.
I love it too, especially if you're like a Jim Lee fan. I mean, he charges what, $10,000 for a sketch these days for like a commission.
Yeah.
So to be able to get to see a sketch, I mean, it's inked, it's black and white. Mm-hmm. It's not just like the pencils, but you can see a lot of the work that Jim Lee puts into this kind of stuff. You can see like the white spatter that he puts on it. You can see Scott Williams' inking style on here. So that kind of stuff is super cool. If you're an art junkie like me, if you're kind of into the process of things, that's really kind of cool to see. 150, that's a little bit more than ratio, which is something to really look at, is say that this is something that I don't know if there's a lot out there. I don't know how many stores ordered 100 or more, whatever the case might be, but just the fact that this is going for over ratio already. Hey, awesome. Good for you guys. Good to go on that.
Yeah. And again, you have so many elements here, part of Batman's costume, that are completely unique to this character. Mm-hmm. You have the collapsible wings with razored edges. You have the bat symbol chest that doubles as an axe, which is just awesome. You have the ears, which double as knives. It's so incredible. It's such a unique take on Batman, such a unique and fresh take on Batman that's not constrained by all of the tropes that Batman usually drags around with him whenever he gets rebooted or attempted to reboot something.
The coolest thing, that axe with the chest, that's cool. Yeah. But the ear batarangs was like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the coolest part. Was he takes his ears off and just starts stabbing fools.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, no spoilers here.
All right. So number 2 on the list, we got 90 people chilling with us tonight, guys. Massive,
you.
massive thank you to everybody who came in here, who's here now, who's checking us out. And if you're here on the rewind, what up, Make Havoc, my boy? If you're watching this on the rewind, big shout out and thanks to you too for boosting up those numbers and joining us and taking a look at all this interesting data of what's selling for the week. Again, this is stuff that's aftermarket. So this isn't stuff that people are buying in comic book stores. This is people who have to go elsewhere. I don't know if it's like, well, we'll get into it on the next book. So number 1, everybody, coming right up. Number 2, Absolute Batman, Jim Lee, black and white sketch variant, 1 in 100, 150 bonards for a raw copy of this bad boy right now.
Yeah.
I wonder what number 1 could be.
It absolutely could be anything.
Right.
Wow.
and it's back again, and it once again, number 1 brings you Absolute Batman number 1, Nick Dragotta, regular cover, published by DC in October 2024. This past week was the release of Absolute Batman, and it was an absolute killer debut. Absolute Batman already had a ton of hype behind it before it released. The book takes place in Absolute Universe, a universe that was created when Darkseid allowed himself to be killed. The Absolute Universe is meant to be a darker, harder dimension for our DC heroes. The universe created from Darkseid's energy is meant to introduce multiple heroes with different designs and origin stories. This book does that, as well as showing the first appearance of the Party Animals, a skull-wearing gang of murderers, and a cameo of this universe's Joker. We tracked 131 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of a 252%, with a high sale of $30 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $17. And Chris, there we go. We talked last week about how many multiple Jokers showed up, right?
Yeah.
And now we're getting another Joker here, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, just to kind of connect the dots with that. But Absolute Batman number 1, I'm looking forward to getting my copy in the mail. I'm looking forward to reading it. I've heard a lot of great reviews about it, and I've heard some mediocre reviews about it. But I'm going to judge for myself. I'm going to go in there with a clean slate and just kind of look at this for what it is. And I'm looking forward to it. Absolute Batman, man. And I see this, me personally, with this being the way it's been going right now, this has more room to grow. You know what I mean? If you if you haven't secured a copy yet, I say get one. Just get one. I mean, you're not going to go wrong. One, from what I hear, it's a great read. It's it's an absolute world Batman with this, and so it's got a lot going for it. I'm happy I'm on board with this.
100% agree. Those 131 copies sold, I might be responsible for half of those. I don't know. Like I said, I read it. I was so impressed. I picked up a couple extra copies, a couple extra variants, and a 9.8 of this version right here, because I really strongly feel that if handled correctly, this could be the next, Ultimate Spider-Man. We all remember Ultimate Spider-Man from the early 2000s, how big that was, and how revolutionary that was for the Marvel universe. This could be the same thing for DC. Although, I remember feeling the same way about the All-Star universe, the All-Star DC universe.
Right.
Because I think that had a lot of really good momentum, but it was, the stumble and the mishandle due to publishing deadlines and stuff like that. As long as DC stays on top of this and can get the books coming out on a regular basis with continuity, good storylines, and, fresh ideas, I think it's going to be phenomenal. And it's, you talked about the Joker. I'm not going to get into it because we don't really know about this Joker that much, but it's different. It's completely different. So everything about this, the entire rogues gallery for Batman is different in this universe, and it's really something. It really is.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about this Absolute Batman so far is like the Rogues Gallery is different, where you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you know, you see a lot of the Rogues Gallery, they kind of have a different story. They're all kind of, there's a connection there. I'm not going to get into it, Marty, but there's a connection and weird stuff going on. So it's one of those things where, like, with Ultimate Spider-Man, it's like, oh, okay, well, here's Green Goblin. Okay, it's Norman Osborn's Green Goblin. With this, you don't know what's going on. You know a little bit about Joker and how he's kind of different. But again, this is the first issue. It's kind of world building. Things are kind of getting beefed up.
Right,
so
right.
It's good to go.
Interesting.
What I'm curious about is I know that they've introduced or that they announced a third printing is going to happen. So that means the first print is sold out. Second print's already sold out. So you have to go to a third print. So I'm curious. People are paying up to $30. I think the fair market value right now is about $17 for a brand new book that I think should have been heavily ordered by every comic book store in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious as to did LCSs not order enough? Or LCSs, I'm not trying to blame LCSs and put this on them, but there's something going on where they're not ordering enough to keep up. These things shouldn't be selling out in the first week where people have to go to eBay or wherever and pay $17 up to $30 to get this book. It should have been something that should have been sitting on the shelves for a while. Stores really should have took a chance and ordered as many copies as they thought was possible, because this is the kind of book that would always be able to sell off the wall, I think.
Sure. I think
very curious that people are having to turn elsewhere to get books. Like, again, if you don't have an LCS, I get it. But if an LCS is already sold out of something like this, everybody's needing to help out their LCSs if you have pull boxes, and make orders ahead of time. Learn about the FOC. Don't just ask for the new book like the Monday of kind of thing. Like, you really have to be proactive. Put books on your list way ahead of time. Stores as well need to connect with their customer base more and hand sell this stuff. Hey, do you have Absolute Batman on your list already? Things like that. Like, there's something going on. There's something being missed where 130 copies of this had to be sold online for people. It's very interesting to see what's going on with that.
I think that we have DC's their own worst enemy on this, because they've been so reboot happy over the last 2 decades. It's almost like they can't help themselves. They can't stick with one story. So I think there may have been some trepidation for the local comic book stores who are coming in and ordering this thing, probably just getting the bare minimum. But I'm telling you, all the platforms that I'm reading, all the social media stuffs, people are talking about this book. It is getting mentioned. It is organically popular, and I'm gonna do exactly what that cover says. I'm going all in on this book. I cannot wait for the second issue, and I really hope it is handled correctly.
But this is interesting because people even in the chat are saying my shop didn't order it, I didn't get one, my store doesn't do DC anymore because they get damaged or whatever's going on. So it's very hey son, what's up, buddy? Hi. You want to come say hi? Come here. Say hi to everybody.
Aww.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later. Dylan, hey. Say hi. Good job. That's a great job saying hi. All right, buddy. See you.
He's done.
Bye, Dylan.
Good talking to you. Bye, Andy. Now you gonna hang out for a minute? What? You need help? All right, come sit down. You can join in for the last bit of the show if you want, son.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I know you like it.
It's a great book. Marty, when you read this, I want you to pay attention to every single speaking character. Okay?
Okay. Absolutely.
I mean, and I had to read it a couple times because there were a couple things that I missed. But look at every panel and pay attention to every speaking character, because it's important, and it'll make the story much more enjoyable for you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, that's the list right there, guys.
That is the list. All right.
That's the list.
Again, everybody. Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up pretty soon. We've been kicking this. This is an hour and a half top 10. We got a special guest here. We got my boy hanging out, right, son? Say hi.
Nice.
Again. All right, maybe not. All right. But one more time. Let me put these links in the chat. Give me a second to pull these up. While we're doing that, Marty, you got any final words, brother?
Hey, thank you once again for joining us. It is October. I'm seeing many wonderful horror Halloween sort of covers, and I'm loving it. I'm posting my own as well. So if you haven't seen any of mine, please go to Casually Collecting Comics. That is my new Instagram, aka Comic Book Fanatics. We still got Comic Book Fanatics. Me and Ray are Comic Book Fanatics, but he has his own Instagram where he's doing his thing as well, the Asgardian Collector, and I've got mine. It's the Casually Collecting Comics. So go down there, support me. I'd really appreciate it. Happy Halloween, happy Samhain, happy Day of the Dead. Happy festive. Or no, that's from Seinfeld. But thanks for joining us as always, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys Thursday. Awesome week, guys.
Yep. Thank you, Marty. I'll go ahead and give my outro. Thank you guys all for joining us. We got almost 100 people in the chat right now that have hung out with us for an hour and 26 minutes, which is nuts. Don't you people have to work tomorrow? I know I do. Hey, this is an awesome list. I'm happy to pitch in anytime. Of course, if I'm going to be pitching in for any of you guys, the show's going to run long, right? Check us out on Instagram. We all have Instagrams, and that's the best way to contact a lot of us. There are things that I'm posting every single day for Halloween covers. And I'll go ahead and mention this now. I'll probably bring it up on Thursday as well. But my eBay sales for Halloween comics and magazines right now, man, it is just blowing up. This is
off
a
the roof,
great year. I mean, I'm getting more sales this year than I have any other previous year. So This is a great year for covers. So it's definitely something that you guys should be posting, being part of. Hey, check us out. More than happy to converse with you on the gram.
All right. Again, everybody, thanks everybody again for showing up. One last little bit of information. We talked about this at the top of the show. Let's just give us another big shout out. CovrPrice is setting up. This is the new images that Matt came in to upload onto the StreamYard. So CovrPrice. If you guys are going to New York ComicCon, or if you know somebody who's going to New York ComicCon, make sure that you check out their exclusives checklist. This is the NYCC. CovrPrice is finishing off the big Comic-Con convention this year, right? The New York Comic-Con. Currently, there's 481 and counting exclusives that's going to be offered at the con. So if you go to this link here, this will take you to a handy-dandy tool that we showed earlier of all the variants that are being offered at New York Comic-Con, the prices. You can do filtering on the website, so you can filter by price, filter by fair market value. You can do keyword searches for what booth they're at. So this is your one all-be-all tool for New York Comic-Con price exclusives. And then also, another cool little thing they got going on is an awesome eBay live giveaway. So they're going to be doing a live giveaway at New York Comic-Con at the eBay booth. And you can even bookmark their eBay giveaway page on that link that I just had up on the screen. They have over $2,000 in giveaways. So make sure you join CovrPrice this Saturday, October 19th, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern, as they will be hosting this with A and Z Comics. It's an eBay live giveaway. They're going to be at the eBay booth at New York Comic-Con. So make sure you check out all their social medias for more information, more books, more exclusives going up, a lot of stuff going on at CovrPrice. And again, we thank them so much, much love and appreciation for everything that they've done for us, giving us a place to have Lord of the Long Box, all that great stuff. With that said, Let me find these last little videos here.
All right.
Hour and a half, guys. Everybody here is super awesome for sticking around. We hope everybody has a great day. Where's the goodbye video on here? This might take me a second.
Just pick one. Anyone.
A normal giveaway, goodbye video outro. Let's do this one. Adios, everybody.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.